One, two, one, two, three.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are starting off your Friday on a positive note, because we all know that things are crazy here in America. That's all I'll say. So I just finished doing a self-tape. I've been doing a bunch of self-tapes the past 2 days, and I had a Zoom callback in which I had to do my whole setup. So I figured I could show you my quick at-home self-tape setup. This is good for anything or any kind of audition, commercials, TV and film, musical theater, when we get back up and running. So I figured I'd let you know sort of what I have and how we set it up. And it's super easy, super easy to store, which I think is key for New York actors. So yeah, but before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe, because it'll really support my channel. And let's go in. So you can see right behind me, I've got my backdrop, which is pretty huge. It takes up basically my whole office. And the good thing about this backdrop is, actually, there's three things good about this backdrop. First of all, it's two-sided with two different colors. So this is more of a blue-ish color, and then on the other side, it's more of a tan color. So you can sort of pick based on what you're trying to accomplish with your filming or whatever you want to do. So right now it's horizontal. You can also flip it so it's vertical if you're doing a standing shoot. I tend to do this one even if I'm standing, because you tend to film horizontally when you're submitting anyway, unless it's TikTok. So yeah, so this is the backdrop. The great thing about this, I can't do it in here, and Sarah's teaching her workout class, but it is collapsible. So it collapses into a little ball or into a little circle, and it's so easy to store, and then you just pop it open when you're ready to start setting up and filming. It is on a tripod, so let me see if I can get around here. So it is on a tripod. You can see that tripod there, and it sort of clips up there at the top. Super easy. You can see how this background is tan and blue. Yeah, so that's the backdrop, and honestly, all three of us in the apartment use this all the time. Sarah does a lot of improv classes where she has to have a nice backdrop. You can also sort of use this as a green screen. I know it's not green, but because it's a plain backdrop, you can get rid of whatever that is and put something else there. The next part of my setup, which I assume everybody has, I mean, maybe I'm making an assumption, but is a ring light. So again, I'm going to link everything below of what we have here. That backdrop is from Amazon. Next, we've got our ring light. So, I use this ring light all the time for all of my YouTube videos. Oh, look at that. And she's just oh God. And she's just glowing. Isn't she glowing? The ring light's got 3 color settings, which is really good, because if you're filming at a certain time of day and you need it to be brighter or less bright, you can do that also depending on what your skin color is. So we've got that, which that is more, makes me more orangey. That's more natural. I mean, it's really bright right now, but so it just depends on sort of what you want your skin to look like. But yeah, that's the ring light. And then you can see we've got a clip here for the iPhone. I am saving to get a better camera, because it seems like we're going to be submitting videos for a while for auditions. But I mean, I'm on my iPhone right now. I filmed all my YouTube videos on my iPhone, and it's really good quality. I shoot in 4K, 60 frames at 4K, which I think is pretty great. So, yeah, so you can use a regular camera on that stand, or you can use your iPhone, which is what I use. So the next thing I figured I'd show you for this little ditty is also some YouTube hacks slash if you're doing voiceover auditions. I would highly recommend, again, don't go out and buy anything if you don't have the money for it. I had this for a long time because I would record my tap dance videos with this. But if you are submitting voiceover work, or even if you're gonna make a YouTube video where you're gonna talk over something, sort of like a voiceover for your YouTube video, I highly recommend getting a microphone. You see these a lot now on TikTok too, where people are singing into their mics to record stuff. I don't know if you guys watched my Ratatouille musical video, but some of those actors were using microphones as well. This one's really good. This is the blue Yeti microphone. I think it's great. I wouldn't go more than, I think this is $150. I wouldn't go more than that, because I am not a professional voiceover actor. I submit tapes and stuff like that, but I wouldn't consider myself like that's my gig, but at this point I'm sort of just dabbling in everything that I can. You can really manipulate like the gain and how loud. You can go right in and record with GarageBand if you've got a Mac, or you can record with a higher end program. John does have a higher end program that I sometimes use if I'm submitting a tape that needs to be a voiceover. Also, when it comes to recording with a microphone, I would totally suggest a pair of headphones. These are just Audio Technica from Amazon, and that way you can sort of hear better when you record. Also, when you edit the sound, you want to be able to like hear it through a headphone. I also feel like a lot of YouTubers edit with headphones on because of the sound. It's easier to control the sound in your editing as opposed to the sound coming out of your computer. So I know that that's sort of a preference for a lot of YouTubers. Yeah, and that's just my setup. I mean, the other thing that you need to have in order to do self-taping submissions is a computer. I mean, you actually don't even need a computer. I feel like if you've got an iPhone, there's iMovie on the iPhone that you could quickly put something together and submit. Yeah, and I use my computer. I sometimes, depending on how fast it is, I will use iMovie, which is super easy to use, or I do have Premiere Pro, which I use to make all of my like complicated tap dance music videos with a lot of cuts and special effects and titling and all that kind of stuff. I feel like for self-tapes, they're pretty simple. You just slate. You can include your headshot if you want to, and then you just do the 30 seconds to 60 seconds that they're asking for, and then you submit it off. Yeah, one of my... I wrote out a goal list, but I don't know that I want to say goals. One of my things that I want to dabble more in or put more focus on and attention to is self-taping. I just want to get as much as I can on video of me. So I've been recording a lot of monologues. I've been recording a lot of scenes. I've been writing my own scenes of like characters that I think that I am similar to that could play. You know, there's a lot of TV shows in New York that I would love to get an audition for, like Younger or SVU or Maisel. I was on Maisel. I was an extra on Maisel, but I'd love to have like a one-liner on Maisel. So I'm sort of looking for material that is similar to the style of those shows, and then filming 30 seconds, 60 seconds of material. So that Younger's filming right now, but like when Maisel comes back, that I can submit that kind of material. Yeah, and that's sort of what I'm doing for January. It's so sad. I don't know if you guys heard or if you pay attention to musical theater, but they just announced that Mean Girls is closing on Broadway and they're not coming back. And it's just, we thought 2021 was gonna, maybe it was naive. I think it was maybe naive to be like, 2021 is gonna be better. The hope is that things were going to start to improve. And it seems like we're still in this place. I mean, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So that's a weird transition, but this is my self-tape setup. I'm in my little cubicle of a office in New York City. You can totally make this work. If I had to film like a legit voiceover thing, I'd probably buff out the sound of the window so that it's super quiet, because there is a lot of ambulance noise and street noise that would come through. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions about anything about how to set up a quick self-tape for this virtual world that we're living in, please leave a comment below. I will link all of these items. I'll link the backdrop, the ring light, the microphone, the headphones, and the tripod for you down in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a quick one, but I've got a lot of stuff planned coming up. So again, before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe because it'll really support my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Checking the lighting on my face, checking the lighting on my face, light on my face. But not before each and every single one of you says the words. I was right. I was wrong, Fiona, and you were right. I am going to tell you where the meth is. But only until